Welcome to Inside Liverpool. Back in 2015, when Erling Haaland was merely known around the local towns of Bryne in Norway, 15-year-old Dušan Vlahović was already making his debut for Partizan Belgrade. In 2016, Haaland was still at Bryne when Vlahović became the youngest ever player in Partizan Belgrade's history to compete in the Eternal Derby against Red Star Belgrade. 5 years ago, Vlahović seemed destined to become the current generation's superstar forward. Erling Haaland has superseded him in the ranks since, though Vlahović is not doing too badly himself, and with Haaland likely out of the reach of Liverpool, the Serbian forward could provide a cheaper and more affordable alternative in Jurgen Klopp's quest to rejuvenate his forward line. According to Tutto Mercanto Web, Liverpool are keeping the Serbian in their sights and are willing to invest in a transfer for the Fiorentina forward, with Juventus and Manchester City also in the race. Vlahović is not a typical Liverpool forward. Most of Liverpool's attackers in the modern era, even prior to Klopp, have been relatively diminutive and light in their size. Vlahović is a contrary. Standing at a towering 1.9 meters, he is an imposing physical presence and an aerial threat too. The modern game is changing the stereotype around tall forwards, and Vlahović is among those breaking down previous misconceptions. Despite the Serbian's height, his game does not just rely on his physicality. He is technically gifted and he is not necessarily an immobile forward, averaging 2.7 dribbles per 90 so far this season, with an impressive 65.4% success rate via wide scope. Most importantly, Vlahović is energetic and active in his counter-pressing. He has averaged 7.22 pressures per 90 in the opposition's final third so far this season, which is not too far off the numbers posted by Roberto Firmino 8.75 per 90 and Diogo Jota 9.11 per 90. Where Vlahović diverges in terms of Liverpool's typical options is that he is generally less involved in build-up play, with the Serbian used as a more traditional center forward who plays with his back to goal and holds up the play for Fiorentina. Klopp's track record with players of Vlahovic's ilk at Liverpool is not the most prolific. Christian Benteke, Mario Balotelli and Divock Origi have all struggled to play anything more than sporadic roles, with the Germans' preference being towards a false number 9. However, Klopp is not averse to using more traditional forwards. After all, he was the man to help Robert Lewandowski establish his career at Borussia Dortmund. Vlahović represents greater quality than Benteke, Balotelli or Origi, and he could certainly provide an excellent target for Trent Alexander-Arnold's crosses into the box. But Liverpool will have to tweak their tactics slightly in order to accommodate the Serbian or vice versa, and that always represents a risk. With a £15 million asking price, it could be a costly one too.